Well, our next guest is one of those sports stars who's been good at a whole bunch of things, so I'd never tell him to his face because it's quite annoying. He does make Nick look like a spoke sitting next to him, though. Melbourne Rebels Super Rugby star Cadeyrn Neville joins us. Welcome to you.
Welcome.
Hey, good to be here.
Nick thought he was big, but then you came and sat down at 120 kilos?
Yeah, roundabout.
What height?
202 centimetres.
Lordy.
He's actually sitting on the floor right there.
So as a kid, ballet was never really an option.
Yep, not anywhere near.
So started as a rower and had some success there. In a big crew or individual?
I was mostly a single sculler
Yeah.
during time in rowing, but various times rowed in other crews and that sort of thing as well. But
I'm sure they were trying to poach you, weren't they?
Australia's been looking for a male single sculler, to dominate, given how well they row over in New Zealand, and the Brits have rowed single sculls so well.
yeah, I was actually part of a program that was meant to sort of unearth the next single sculler to potentially win at London, which unfortunately didn't continue, and we haven't won yet, but we'll keep hoping.
An interesting parallel, because you went from rowing to cycling. Bridie, you did the same.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great sport for that, and a lot of rowers ride for cross-training.
You need to get the rugby boots on.
I might do that next. Actually, we're going to go out and do a training session.
Really?
Okay.
So how far did you take your cycling? What happened with that in your career?
Oh, I mean, cycling was only ever a sort of a cross-training sort of thing, but it was something we did quite seriously and spent a lot of money on the equipment and that sort of thing. But,
Steel frame? Steel frame.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, good. A lot of rowers actually got into cycling and tried triathlons. James Tompkins, who rowed in about 17 Olympics, recently did the Melbourne Ironman back in March. So that's a big frame also to be taking over that course, over 200-something kilometres.
Yeah, he seems to be able to do just about anything, so yeah, wouldn't put anything like that past him.
So you've made a move from Sydney to Melbourne to play for the Rebels. How are you finding it?
Oh, it's been awesome since I've been down here. It's my second season now, so just getting through the second sort of cold bit.
There's you, giant of the man. No one can stop him. Look at that. I like that the biggest guy on the field needs to wear a helmet.
Is that to protect everyone else for when he runs into them? What is
It's
the
mostly to stop
progression?
our ears from turning out like balloons, I think.
Here we
You said
go.
you've played a couple of games or training sessions with the Wallabies, and as a general rule, how old are players when they start to get their first test with the Wallabies and get a good go?
It can vary a little bit, I guess. As a forward, like myself, you get better sort of with age, I think, but a lot of the backs and that sort of thing, the faster, more flashier players, they can have it right from when they're 17, 18.
This is the annoying thing, because you were put into the squad after about 8 games playing union, right?
That was about 3 games.
Was it 3? I stand corrected.
3 or 4, I think, yeah.
Yeah, see, really annoying.
Yeah, not very gifted.
I can imagine, though, when you started, dabbling in union and league, your rowing coach wouldn't have been too happy.
Yeah, well, I sort of took the winter off from my rowing and played both of those sports that year. So I was basically, yep, I'll see you when it gets warmer again. Don't really worry what I'm up to.
I think taking some of the hits in the off-season is not good for the rowing.
How much do you train a week playing rugby?
It depends. Like our pre-season's quite heavy. We'd be training most days of the week, but I guess during the season you tailor it around your games because you want to come into those games fresh, and also you need a bit of recovery after that.
Yeah.
So
When's the season kick off and start and finish?
So we've got our last round coming up this Friday night here in Melbourne, and it started. I think the start of March, end of February. It was around trials, start of the competition.
Too many hits to the head, you don't remember exactly when you started?
Yeah, there's been a few this year.
Good,
So
gotcha.
So, Cadeyrn, if
Nick
you'd
told
been
me to
given
say
the
that.
job as the coach of the Wallabies right now, how would you have them win and beat the British Lions? You need to tell us. What would you do differently?
British Lions, well, I'd have 12 years to prepare for it, so plenty of things to go over. But I guess probably weren't really ready for especially what they threw in the third game. I mean, they knew they'd be strong on the forwards and take on our scrum and that sort of thing, but I guess now we know the exact standard that you have to beat those blokes, and it's quite a bit higher than it.
Now, you've been enjoying the
Yeah.
tour. You've got time to recover, obviously, between training and match sessions, so nice to be plonked in front of the TV.
Yeah, I've had a few sleep-ins recently, so I've needed that, especially over the weekends with the sort of longer stages.
Sunday night was fantastic, wasn't it? Very exciting.
Yeah, I enjoyed both Saturday and Sunday, so yeah, it's good to be able to actually sit up and watch the whole thing.
Got a favourite rider in the bunch that you follow?
Well, I guess any Australian have a soft spot for Cadeyrn,
Yep.
who it might be a bit out of his reach again this year, but it's good to see a lot of other Australians quite strong now as well. Like
Yeah.
Richie Port, I thought he could be pretty much last year's Froome.
Yeah.
now.
got some-
Unfortunately, Julie slipped off a little bit.
Got some goodies coming your way though before the next game,
Yep.
maybe to celebrate.
some green
Massive
kit.
season for the Rebels.
Oh, excellent.
Nice bottle and cap and
We're that proud.
Well done.
Cadeyrn, good to meet you, big fella. Thanks so much for coming
Yeah,
in.
thank you.
And
No problem.
good luck.
Thanks a lot.